Now, let me tell you something. This is part of the broadcast where I tell you a little bit about my personal news, about what's going on in my life. March is having a housewarming party. March was like, oh, I have a Macallan 12 free. I'm like, sure, I'll take a sip. I'll do one. I drink one drink. And let me tell you, as a 32-year-old man, soon to be 33-year-old man, this one drink me up. I mean, listen, I've struggled with alcoholism. Back in the day, could slam half of that bottle and not even feel it. I have officially entered my teetotal era, except here's the worst part. I didn't even get drunk from that one drink. I didn't even get drunk. I went straight to hangover. I'm so tired. 9 hours and 30 minutes of streaming. I feel like I'm probably such a curmudgeon. Like I'm probably bringing the mood down. I'm tired. I've expended all my energy on you for 9 hours and 30 minutes. And then I take this one drink and I'm like, oh, dude, this is so bad. I left the party and like I spent like an hour. I left my brother and my other friend behind. I was like, y'all are on your own, okay? Let God sort it out. But honestly, the real reason why I get like insecure when I'm out at events like that is because like I am a fun-loving person. I promise. But the issue is after 9 hours and 30 minutes of streaming, like high intensity, I am not a fun-loving person. At that point, I'm just like, I'm so tired. Like the life has been stripped from me. But yeah, my point is I personally feel insecure about like what my output looks like to other people. I don't want people to think that I'm like, you know, I hate being around them. I don't. I'm just really tired. So I'd rather like avoid those kind of circumstances. Now, you know how it is with real jobs feel. Yeah, it's funny you say that because I used to have a real job and I was infinitely more social, because this is the one area where I absolutely will disagree with you on. Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will. No, social battery wise, unless you're in retail, it's very different. You're out of touch with them. I'm going to die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job does not expend your social battery in the same way as someone who did a sales job, a real job. I'm telling you, as someone who did both, 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do physical labor. It would not bother me, but I can't do more social shit. That's my point. There are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people-pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are like, I think, customer service type. But like if you're an accountant or if you're even like in sales, my interactions with clients was limited. Way more limited than like constantly having to do this for 9 hours with like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what like sucks your social battery and you just tap out after it. Yeah, think about it this way. You give presentations for your job, right? Imagine giving a presentation for 9 hours straight. After a while, you would be like, I don't want to talk ever again. I call it like the dead zone. When I'm done streaming, I usually have like at least a refractory period of an hour where I just sit there and silently stare at my phone. That was my point. And that decompression time period, if you're doing that in front of other people, it's like, it just sucks. You just are dead. You're hollowed out. So people probably think I'm a asshole. You've been clip chimped and people are acting like you said streaming is harder than other jobs. There's no shot, dude. Oh my lord, dude. 367 comments. Oh my god. I am going to video game myself. This is literally it. This is the point. This is why I don't this is what it is. You don't have any other fucking situation where you have a ton of cyber stalkers that get together, congregate in a fucking Reddit and like upvote this into oblivion out of fucking context. Look at this. Talking about my dad and this is not normal, dude. Destiny's fans are so fucking insane. I just don't want to be on this dumb subreddit. There is no XQC's response to Hasan's take that streaming is harder than a regular job. What are we doing? I literally said something 10 minutes in, clipped out of context, had a conversation over it, immediately went to XQC, immediately XQC responds to it. Oh, it's insane. This subreddit would not be alive if it wasn't for if it wasn't literally like suicide bait for streamers. It blows my fucking mind that this goddamn filth exists. It blows my mind. Every single streamer despises this shit except for XQC and Destiny's communities that brigade the fuck out of it for the most part. XQC community doesn't even care about it as much anymore. It's like, it blows my mind. Normally, on any other circumstance, this subreddit has like 3,000 people max at this point. The moment that like they're like, oh, we can drive a streamer to commit suicide, hopefully one day, then it's like 15K people. It's a cyber stalking central area here. It's crazy. What a awful situation. Jesus Christ. Guys, I'm a profoundly fortunate individual. I've talked about this a million times over. What do you mean? Stop addressing it further. It is such short work. I just showed it to you. One offhanded remark clipped out of context that devalues literally everything I've ever said, gets posted onto the subreddit, brigaded to hell, 450 comments in literally less than 30 minutes. XQC reacts to it. That one gets brigaded as well. It's so obvious. Like, it is happening. It is happening in real time. And then there's still people in my community that are like, just don't address it. It's like, bro, you know this matters, right? Like, random normies see that and go, wow, this is Song Guy, real piece of socialist, by the way. Look at him saying Twitch streaming is way harder than like working a fucking real job, by the way. Clarify what your actual take is. I did. I'm a profoundly fortunate individual. This is the lottery. Having said that, my social battery runs out after 9.5 hours of streaming, and I can't socialize adequately, and I worry that like I look like an asshole to random people. That was my point. That's all I said. Think about that. I said after 9.5 hours of streaming, because you constantly have to be on, and that's the one major difference that I've experienced in comparison to my prior experience being in sales, okay, where I at least had like off moments, where at least I had moments where I could be by myself and not on camera in the same way. 9.5 hours of constantly trying to be on takes a mental toll on my social battery specifically. It's not as physically tasking or taxing. Maybe talk to XQC. He doesn't give a shit, dog. What are you talking about? XQC literally is just looking to farm drama. He's trying to do the Hasan again and again and again and again and again. What conversation could I have with him? And I'm telling you, the reason why he did it is because someone sent it to him. Probably a Destiny fan in his community sent it to him and was like, this is a great, look how stupid Hasan looks here in this clip. He knows what the I believe. It's bullshit. It's extra bullshit that he still operates like this. You're wrong on this. You could literally ask the subreddit's mods to ban anything to do with you and you wouldn't have this issue. You're so stupid. I have asked the subreddit moderators to ban me. They literally privately DM me on a Discord server that they set up specifically for this purpose. I asked them to ban me in the past, and then I was like, listen, dude, I don't want to be on this Discord. Why the are they posting this? They literally leaked the private conversations that we had to make fun of me over it. You have no idea what you're talking about. They literally all dick ride Destiny. How would I know that? Just giving a suggestion? No, chatter, you're not giving a suggestion. You're actually telling me that I'm wrong on something without actually knowing anything about the issue. You're challenging me without knowing what's going on and blaming me for something that I've tried to deal with. I just don't want to be on the subreddit. I don't want to be on the subreddit. I beg for someone with a heart and a conscience to take me off this godforsaken subreddit. What will it take? I'm currently #1 villain on LSF, and I have been for some time. Obviously, it goes through waves. Sometimes Asmongold is that guy. Sometimes even XQC gets to be that guy for a brief moment. The one guy that's never that guy is Destiny, because he runs that because his community is very active on Reddit, and pretty much that's the most active area that they're at. So they just constantly brigade over and over and over again. But what is the point? Do I have to kill myself? Is that when the subreddit will get nuked? How many people does this have to actually legitimately harm? Because this isn't about instilling accountability. As I've showed you very clearly, it has nothing to do with the accountability, because why would there be accountability for a take that's out of context? A take that goes against what I personally believe in? That's not accountability. You're not showing accountability by like lying about what my father, like the background of my family, and you know what I mean? It's crazy. No, you're just stalking with like additional seasoning on top of it. And it's so easy to sway opinions on Reddit because guess what, dude? Post got removed. It'll be uploaded again at a more fortuitous time. Don't worry. I know how they can work. They do it all the time. Posts will get taken down. It'll get mass reported. Someone will come in and they'll repost it literally at like the perfect time later in the day. It's just pure harassment. That's it. It's pure harassment by, unfortunately, really sad people that think that this is actually a good way to get accountability. It's not. You're not doing any accountability in this situation. You have justified it personally. You think you're like morally righteous in your crusade, but you're not doing any fucking accountability whatsoever. Why do you keep calling them Destiny fans? Because they are all Destiny fans. Every single one of them. It's the #1 community for anti-Hasan hate. Remember the big long post that LSF mods made when Rekful died? Really fun to see how far they moved into targeted harassment since then. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. 4 years ago when Rekful died, they added this new dawn. Now there's 14,000 people on there, by the way. A thread posted yesterday opened up some dialogue between us and our users, which confirmed our suspicions of the subreddit needs drastic change. The first of these changes is becoming more transparent in the actions we take and why we take them. In all honesty, the mod team has been in shambles for a long time now. Moderator burnout took a hold a long while ago. LSF used to be a place for PUBG car flips and like random funny moments on streams and you know the occasional new Korean Twitch streamer that's dancing. And then somewhere along the fucking way, it basically turned into this reactionary hole. And the only time it ever pops off is when there is like a villain that you can ritualistically try and humiliate by acting like you're actually doing accountability when there's no accountability to be had. What is the accountability? That you misunderstood my point? The fourth rule on the subreddit, by the way, harassment out of context. Yeah, I mean, they don't follow it. And there's nothing you can do about it either. Yeah. Wait. Why? Who said to kill yourself? For those of you who don't understand, I'm going to explain something to you, okay? The ultimate goal of the harassment campaigns is to try to get people to kill themselves. Kiwi Farms does this. They do it to random trans people and shit all the goddamn time. This is the whole point. If you don't understand like this forum culture, lol cowing in general, I don't know what to tell you. It's usually very sad people that get together and form an online brigade to try to constantly hound someone into inevitably like ruining their lives. And there are some content creators who basically have made this their career. But for those of you who don't know, when this kind of stuff happens, it's not just like people saying kill yourself. People say kill yourself to me all the time. I'm not going to kill myself, obviously. But when this kind of stuff pops off and they post it on Twitter and shit, I'm getting doxxed. I'm getting swatted. My family is getting doxxed. My family's getting harassed. That's not normal. And every single fucking time this happens, I'm getting calls from the FBI because of real death threats. I don't talk about this on purpose because it only thrives. It only makes people want to do it more and more. People showing up at your fucking house, people trying to break into your There's a reason why so many Twitch streamers never talk about this. And every single one of them, including XQC, goes through this on a regular basis, which is why I have no interest in dealing with someone like XQC in this situation because he gets it so hard. So he knows not to egg it on, but he does it anyway because he wants drama. It's bullshit. LSF has turned into Kiwi Farms for Twitch. This subreddit was built on the backs of streamers and their communities making funny clips, and it has turned into a Kiwi Farms cyber harassment Reddit for 4 to 5 streamers they despise. Yeah. The irony is that this exact cycle of hatred is unironically something that you can't deal with, by the way. There's no legal way to deal with this. So everybody calm the down. The internet is too new. We're legislated by boomers. There is no boomer that understands this process until enough people either kill themselves or get killed by stalkers as a consequence of this. No change will come. And even then, no change will probably come because it's too complicated. You're in here every day and you don't understand it. It's a bunch of people who legitimately think that they're not cyber stalking, but actually holding accountability too. But I can't even talk about saying like my social battery runs out more than it did when I used to do a sales job, because at least on a sales job, I had like off moments. You know what I mean? A little bit of time off from like immediately communicating with people. And the only exception I would make to this is like a service sector. A service sector job would be like worse than this, of course. And then immediately it's like, let's go and try to get him to kill himself, Reddit threads by doxing my family. What do you mean? You proved my point. This is it though. This is it. This is literally it. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They immediately went in and posted it. They posted it on Reddit. They posted on Twitter. They go full force. The whole point is you can't really defeat this level of brain rot because like this dude is mentally ill, okay? He's mentally ill and incredibly sad. He's just here to dick ride his daddy into oblivion, and who will fight for him aggressively. Guess who retweeted it? I'm assuming Destiny. Yeah, the one subscription he has on his Twitter. It's insane to me. I don't know how normal people don't see this stuff from accounts like that and don't stop for a second to think, hey, maybe that person behind this account is in good faith. Media literacy is already difficult to achieve. Media literacy for online stuff is infinitely more difficult to achieve. You have to recognize that like no one thinks that there is an entire community of people like gang stalking someone specifically for their one random deadbeat dad streamer, okay? So that he can make money on his YouTube page or something. Like that would be insane. If you explain this to a normal person, they'd be talking about like, what are you saying? Look, boom, goes from here to here. HasanAbi says the streamer is harder than working a real job. You're watching this happen in real time. I think this is very informative, very instructive. I think it's very informative, very instructive on how quickly this moves and turns into like a massive pile-on. How much do you agree with the statement that streamers are out of touch? Infinitely out of touch. Of course I agree with that statement. I simply was stating, and I even clarified that like the only other job that's like legitimately significantly worse would be a service sector, customer service facing job, which is very clearly stated. It's crazier to me because I hadn't even blasted off at this point. So I had like 10,000 people in here. Like, look at this. Look, dude, imagine having a dude's dick in your fucking mouth this hard. To be honest, man, you were just starting to lose your sauce, you know? You lived in the shadow of destiny. You had things made for you, and then you flew to the sun too close, GG. Brother, you are a human being. Please, for the love of Christ, seek help. Whatever you believe in, seek help. This is not a normal thing to do. I promise you this is making your own personal mental health worse. Every single time you think you're like on a conquest to take down one of your favorite content creators' enemies, you're actually hurting your own mental state more and more. Hasan, I'm begging you. They're watching you live and calling for brigading and to trigger you in chat. I'm begging you, don't dignify these bags with a reply. That's the other thing. It's so gross that this loser can just like sit there and egg his own community on to like come in here and harass. This is why you have no friends except for orbiters that are suckling on your teat, by the way. This is why you keep finding yourself in like these up relationships with like broken people. This is why you are dual divorced at this point and miserable for the most part. Like, I hope you understand that. Find God. I really did think that maybe like all the red pill debating and stuff, like getting in a new audience would have basically allowed him to like move on, grow up, but nope. And then they'll turn around and be like, oh, it's really up, because imagine a soul crushing job and then you still don't have money to take care of your family. Come on, chatter, please. I never said anything about money. Of course, a normal job is infinitely harder than streaming. That's 100% something I talk about all the goddamn time. I talk about how fortunate I am all the goddamn time. I clarified in the clip too, but even then, even in the clarity, there's still people who are just like people who are still going, no, I don't believe it, I don't agree with you in this chat even. And the irony is like this is also another part of the problem, which is that like the thing that every single person hates is the guy who misconstrues the point, right? Everyone, this is like beyond politics. Everybody absolutely despises the guy who goes, oh, I guess you hate waffles, buddy. And yet that's what like 95% of what I do is nowadays, is just like having to deal with people who are constantly going, oh, you said you like pancakes? Why do you hate waffles? I hate you. I love waffles. And you said you hate waffles. Also, you're a terrorist now. And then as you guys experienced in a sequence of like 30 minutes, it goes from something being clipped out of context to being posted on Reddit, being reacted to by one of the largest content creators on the platform, literally every single drama peddler posting it on Twitter. You experienced it in real time. It's just like an organized hate raid every day that I have to deal with. And it very quickly spawns into like real world issues for myself and my family. That's the other part of it that's like annoying. It's just like, and for the record, it doesn't even matter. This happens to everyone and anyone. It happens to normal people as well. It happens to like people who randomly go viral. It's really crazy how much this is normal now. You know how the like a lot of the red pill 4chan terminology like looks maxing has made its way into TikTok, and people just like normal people know about those things now, those concepts now. I feel like the other part of this that feeds the algorithm, especially on Twitter too, and even on TikTok to a certain degree, is like these hate campaigns. Oh, like we caught him saying something. Doesn't matter what the context is. This makes him look bad. Basically, the lolcow culture has now become super normalized. It's front and center in the way that like so many people fucking operate. Even when people just pop off with one small TikTok video, they can garner a vicious crowd of hate and harassment. Yeah, like that librarian guy. He's such a kind soul. And like he got ritualistically humiliated by some fucking Nazi in his fan base. Like people were calling him a pedophile and he's now taking he's just leaving the library. It's so heartbreaking that people just like normal people that get like a touch of fame, even they legitimately experience this like psychotic backlash, and it's so fucking normalized at this point. It basically is the same principle as trying to act like I am anti-trans. You know what I mean? It's like if there are a couple things that I advocate for every day, it's like workers' rights. You know what I mean? It's trans rights. To turn around and be like, oh, dude, this guy's transphobic and anti-worker is so dumb. It's like, you're insane. You're delusional. Twitter and Reddit are the two platforms that are genuinely up. If D said the same thing, this wouldn't be a thing. Destiny probably has said the same thing. He's a streamer. He knows exactly the point I was trying to make. He probably agrees with me, but it's infinitely more fun to stoke the fires and utilize his audience because he's disingenuous. He's a disingenuous hack.